Hey guys, my name is Seniac and welcome back to another episode of CanalTown here in City Skylines. Well, last episode, guys, we have been building up on our beach area and it's starting to look really good. The only thing that's slowing us down right now is the fact that we don't have much demand, so we kind of have to slowly wait for stuff to grow. So in the meantime, oh, as you can see the beachfront walk right now. In the meantime, as we wait for everything to kind of grow up, I want to try something that was sent to me on Twitter. Now, this was sent to me by, hold on, I'll quickly find it right now. Hold on. Your boy, I think they pronounce it, is it Nick Becker? And he gave me a really good suggestion on what I can do to improve the kind of connection to one of our areas that we recently built. Now, guys, this is going to be interesting. We are back in CanalTown. I can't even speak English right now. If you are enjoying the series, then make sure you smash the like button down below. And if you are new around here, make sure you do subscribe so you get notified when the next episode does come out, because this place is looking so damn beautiful. Now, what are we talking about exactly today? Well, this could possibly be one of the greatest ideas, or potentially one of the worst ideas I've ever implemented in any series before. And that is slightly adjusting this connection. Now, what is going on right now, guys, is we have this big, huge, vast area, which we have kind of canal stops dotted along right now, which are completely overwhelmed and overloaded. Because in reality, the only way to get to this area is by driving over this bridge or getting off the highway at this section here, thus causing long delays in driving. And then the quicker option for them is just to get onto the ferry. Now, while all that is great and dandy and all that kind of stuff, I do need to get a better connection. And somehow there is, and I did not see it, and I'm not surprised I didn't see it, because I thought this would be impossible to create a connection and still keep this intersection in one piece. But your boy Neek has found a way, and we're going to try and implement it right now. This is going to be so bad. Guys, this is not what you should do when building a city. Or, fast forward 15 minutes, this is what you should do when building a city. So right now, we're going to try and implement a connection, which is going to allow us to not only use this as a proper junction, interchange, but also have connections to it. Now, the problems we've got going on with this, right, is at the moment, it goes in 3 directions. Obviously, this way, that way, and obviously this way as well. Now, right now, you can't kind of go in every single direction, so to speak. Obviously, if you're coming from this direction here, your options are to stay on, to go to the right, or to take a right to then go to the left. But you can't come back on yourself. That's the difference. Now, that's fine. I have other junctions like this right now where you can't come back on yourself as well. But we need to set this up a little bit differently, because these 2 slip roads where you come off to the right to go to the left, and then this one where you come from this way to go that way, we're going to utilize these here to have and allow us to have connections to this area, thus creating a highway connection. But then the problem would be that if we connected to these slip roads, there, if you click to this one, you're kind of coming from this way. We're going to bring it from this way to get into there. You can't really go in any direction, so we're going to have to kind of configure it a little bit. Now, I'm probably talking jibber jabber. I'm waffling on a bit right now, but this will all make sense in just a moment. So what we're going to do is we're first going to create these connections to this area. So what I'm going to kind of create right now, and this is all elevated, so I'll keep this elevated, and we'll also eventually... it will also eventually, oh my goodness me, this is going to be crazy. I'll use the parallel tool. That's a little bit easier. We'll eventually get all the angles and levels set up right as well. So if I come out then by, let's say we go plus, so 20, that should be fine. Add that in just there. Right, we'll come back to that, boys. We'll come back to that. And then we're going to do the same just here. So there to there, plus 10, bam. Beautiful. Beautiful. So all I now need to do is use the connection tool. Right. Oh, and you know what I actually might do as well, just kind of make it a little bit more interesting for us? If I delete this road there, and then delete this road here, and have the connection come from there, I can then elevate it over these roads, thus allowing us to have a better connection. Yes, this is perfect. So this, we're going to do it in 2 different ways. Obviously, this is to lead out of the area, then go out this way. So if I come out by 5 and elevate elevate by 5. Oh, it's going to be one of those days, isn't it? So from here, from 5 to go down, that's how we can do it. So if I then use the connection tool, which is just here, select from there to there, which will have to end up elevating that. Again, all this stuff doesn't really matter right now. I'm just going to try and create a decent connection, which it will be kind of slightly difficult, but that's as good as we're going to get it from there. From here to here, making sure we're on the right side there. Is there any additional? There is a slight additional there to kind of squeeze that in. Okay, not too bad, not too bad, not too bad. And then all I need to do is get away from, I'll turn that off there, create said connection to go in, and then the same for this side. So don't worry about the angles, the bends and all that right now. It is a little bit messy. It is a little bit all over the place, okay? It 100% is. Just bear with me for a sec. Actually, do you know what I can do here? Kill that back by a bit, and then kind of come in like that. And then is there the ability to do the same here, to not have it run so far along? I think we'll get away with that, so it's not too bad. Yeah, I'm not too sure about this one. I'm not too sure about this one. Right, if I come from about there instead. Right. Ignore the bendiness, because I will sort this all out. So as of right now, before I do anything additional, they can exit from this area. They finally have a highway connection, which again, I'll spruce it all up. I'll make it look a lot better. Don't worry. But all it literally does is puts them on this road, which makes them go in this direction. So they'll have to then turn off to kind of turn back on to come back this way. Same for this one. If they want to enter this area, they can only really enter it from coming this way, turning off there. Oh, sorry, no. I do apologise. Even I'm confused. Coming down from this way to turn off there to get down here to turn in. It doesn't really work, does it? So this is where the genius of your boy Neek came in right now. And he says, if I do a connection from here to there, I do a connection from there to here, and do a connection from there to there. In a weird way, it creates a spiral roundabout. Now, it's not going to work in every single direction, but if you're coming from this way, you'll turn off there, you'll go up, you'll then take the new line to connect onto there, and then you can then pretty much go back. And it works the same way up to this one, take the connection from there to here, and you go back. So it allows everyone to kind of go back on themselves. Thus, eventually, if you wanted to go this way from here, you'll come up here, up there, turn off there, and you're going straight down that way. You'll be able to go in every single direction. I've just got to make sure that I adjust all the roads accordingly. But it should work. I don't see why it wouldn't. It's just a case of it's going to be either a really good idea or this could be a really shocking idea. So don't blame me for this one, guys. Blame your boy Nick. It's all his fault. So what I'll do is I'll use the parallel tool on certain areas, so we can at least create an elevated section for where each of the connections are going to kind of almost take place. Alright, pump that in, add it in, and then do the same on this side. So it's not going to be pretty, okay? If you come here for aesthetics, this is not the place for it, guys. It's not the place for it. And then we'll get rid of you, and then we'll just do some standard connections, which you're going to have to add a key in. Alright, there. And we'll go from there to there, and then we'll go from there. Actually, we'll go from here to here with that one, and then we've got to bring them all in. So we'll go from there to there with that one. I might have to slightly adjust some of these and change them. There, and obviously there. Now, without making it look a little bit more beautiful, it's very, very basic and kind of weird. I have to sort out a load of lane stuff and all that. But no matter what direction you're coming from, you can now enter and exit this area. Ta-da! This is so wrong in so many ways. So now then, we got to figure out a better system in which we can enable these guys to navigate. So originally, the roads that kind of flow through are 3 lanes, and it turns off to a 1 lane. The lane math doesn't really work originally, and it no longer works with this new system as well. So seeing as when they come down here in 3 lanes and it turns off there, all of a sudden this single lane now has 2 up to 2 turn-offs, because obviously it's coming down this way and it's going that way to connect into there, and obviously going straight ahead as well. So it kind of then flips where this becomes the singular lane and that becomes a double lane. That's kind of how it then flips. So what we'll do, we'll start it on this one and then we'll see how well it goes. So we've got to now adjust this to, actually got to adjust to a single lane, which is quite a dramatic change when you think about it. So we get down to here and we kind of oh, I've gone for the one with the sound barrier. Is that should I have a sound barrier or should I kind of keep it as normal? Oops, a daisy. Right, why is that I know why it's elevating, because it's too low to the ground, isn't it? Right, sweet. And obviously single. So it goes all to single there. But obviously when it turns here is when we need it to go into the double. So this sticks into the double. Alright, going all the way through all of this. So sticks into a double. Now I'm going to forget this one for just a minute. Right, because we'll kind of come back to that. Sticks into a double and the double ends there. That's how we're going to treat it. So forget that one exists for just a moment. So it gets to there, splits into 2, off that way, and then that will be the single. But because we are now connecting from here, right, we can kind of literally, or technically, get away with having a triple, a double, and then your 2 singles. That's kind of how it's going to work. Now, it is a little bit of a mess. There's going to be a little bit of chaos, but if you get this just right, it works in every single direction. Now, I know we're getting build up here, there, and everywhere, but this is the reason why we have to kind of sort out this lane management right now. So we'll do all the ones at the bottom. We'll get all these sorted out to there. So from there, single. It's quite a dramatic change compared to what was originally there. So that's single to there. And yeah, there's a lot more. So if we try and first start where the road kind of disconnects here, and then we'll do the doubles. So I'm trying to do this in order, which it can be quite annoying. So we'll lead it to where the 2 would normally end, which will be there. On this side, it's a little bit different because we now have the connecting joining road here as well. So that's normal. So that will go to there, to there. So that's where all your doubles kind of come into play. So we'll come back to this one, leave it to the very end. So that splits into a 2, coming down to here. Where here it would split into a 3 because of the joining. Because of the joining there, the 3. Which would then continue into a 2, right? To there. And to there. So that's a 2 and it splits. Ah, that's a little bit different then, isn't it? So that remains as a 2. And now all of a sudden, we have the 2... Because normally that wouldn't split on any of the other ones. So in reality here, we kind of have to force it to stay as a 2. I mean, you can make it as a 3 here as well. But the lane math's slightly off. We'll come back to this because these kind of slightly throw you off. And the more I change this, you lose the beautiful, like, you know, organization and like stuff from this. So that's into a 2, into a 3 down there. That's fine. I feel like I'm completely lost right now. Let me break this down. There's too much going on. So that's a 1, that's a 3, coming around here, down to there. Okay, fine. So that's a 1, it goes all the way around, down there, fine. Okay, let's do this one next then. So, single. For some reason that hasn't upgraded itself. Oh, what's going on there? Oh, it's a 2, it's a 2. There we go. 2, bending round, turns into a 3, 2, down it goes. Okay, great. And this one is the one we're on next. So that becomes a 2, which by the logic, this then becomes a 3. Right? Becomes a 3. But the problem is, it then becomes a 4. 4 to a 3. It doesn't really work out, does it? It's all because the way that this kind of connects. So if I kept this to a 2, this is the problem with this one. It completely throws you off. Connects into there, which that would then become normally then a 3. So your 3 begins there, right? Where this then goes back into a 2 and into there. So that's where you kind of lose out. So which bit here is not a... That's not a 2. Make sure that doesn't happen anywhere else. So in reality, that's kind of then done. But it's down to this little strip here. Because the additional on and off ramp, it kind of throws everything all off. It really does. So that is then done, I assume. So if I would just play into play mode right now. So without adjusting anything else, just let the game figure out what's going down right now. And I'll sort out the lane management stuff. With all of this here right now. So sort that out there. There you go. So follow it all around first. So that works like that. There's a node there for them to flip their lanes, which is quite, to be honest with you, quite dangerous to go from this lane to switch to that lane, isn't it? Damn. That is asking for quite a lot, isn't it? It really is. But we'll hold out for just a moment, because we'll see how it all interacts. Because this is one of the most dangerous setups I've ever seen. In terms of vehicles, anyway, flowing through it. Sort all this out. There we go. So this has to become a 3. Unfortunately, it has to. Because the sheer amount of traffic trying to leave it right now, it just has to. So it has to become a 3. You add one in, you've got to take them away at some point. So it becomes a 3, which then weirdly that should become a 4 back down to, but if I left it to a 3 there, it's because I'm adding 2 on and only taking 1 away because of this additional this additional addition to this run. That's where that one kind of falls short, and you kind of feel the same effect here. Actually, you don't feel it here, but you kind of do because it's a 2, then it becomes a 3, right? Becomes a 2, and then a 1. You feel it in the opposite way. Where that one you have 1 too many, this one you have 1 too less. But we'll see how the rest of it all flies through anyway, because at the end of the day, you don't know how it's really going to work out. So sort all this out there, so we can kind of treat that one as they merge into one. Because I mean, in the UK anyway, you can be driving down like a motorway, and when a motorway reduces from 3 lanes to 2, obviously it's normally the outer lane that kind of merges in. But this one will treat it as, well, that technically is the outer lane on this one, isn't it? Yeah. So you got to give them a minute to kind of now adjust their routes, because even they don't know what's going on anymore. You know what I mean? But we'll give them some time to adjust. I've got to make it a lot more prettier than what it looks. Because all of a sudden I've kind of added all these lanes in and haven't really told them where to go. That's got to go like that. So a lot of them might want to go round to kind of switch back in themselves, and that's kind of like the long route. So yeah, it's just kind of understanding where the demand is for the routes, and then going from there. So we'll wait for that backlog to clear. We'll wait for that backlog to clear, and then we'll just slightly adjust to make it look a little bit prettier, because it does look devilishly. So with the move it tool, then we are going to create a couple of runs right now to make it a little bit more approachable for this. So that looks already 10 times better. I'm not even going to lie to you right now, that already looks 10 times better. Oh, I went a bit too far there. I even messed up the traffic. Alright, bring that to there. So not every junction we're going to get perfect, don't get me wrong. Not everyone's going to look as good as the other one. but we can at least try. We can at least try to make it look somewhat okay. Bring you to there, bend you, and then we'll kind of naturally bring it down ourselves. So already that looks a little bit better with those little bends right there. We'll take those on board. So the problem for this then, and this is quite a big issue, is this slip road here, the majority of these guys, they want to be on the inside. You know what I mean? They want to be on the inside lane. Now, the only benefit they'll get from being on this lane here is the only turn off is there. Which I had them on the inside, they can also then... Oh, if I had them on the inside and they joined in, they can then utilize the 2 inner lanes for the turn off there and then straight ahead. These guys need to be on the inside. That's what needs to happen there. That's what needs to happen there. Okay, at least we know that. At least we know that right now. So, does the same thing then warrant it being on the outer side here for the opposite way? Now, what would be the... I mean, then I can make it go underground, so you haven't got to visually see it go over the water. I can tunnel it and make it pop up. Now, for these guys then, coming around here, if they were on the inner side, they could either turn off there or come down and turn off there to go underground. But what's the benefit from that? Because the only other alternative is coming from this direction, which to come from that direction, you got to kind of go back in yourself. You either come from that way, which I don't see him coming this way to go round again, or coming from this way, which they've just turned off. So it's most likely a better option for them to be on this side as well. Oh, we're freaking geniuses, guys. We are actually geniuses right now. Which does then mean there's a little bit more kerfuffle to go ahead. Because what I've then got to do is we've got to then, in reality, bring this down. I'll use the move it tool for now, because I can slightly adjust anyway. So bring that to there to allow us then to, if I deleted this road, I'm going to delete it all the way right now because we're going to make it go underground. Now the reason I've used the move it tool is so I can kind of keep the lanes in. And what we're doing is we're making it bow slightly out to what we would normally have. So that will go there, bring you in, and merge you like that. So I want to adjust all this as well. So that's a lot better to allow us, right, to have a road. What mode am I on? Oh, okay, there we go. I was on the wrong mode then. Right, we'll make it go to the ground. I mean, does that need to be elevated? I don't think this needs to be elevated so much there. So if I have that connect into here, for some reason this whole section here is elevated. It doesn't need to be. Bow that out, bring that slightly out, which means I can then run this. Something's not right there. Oh, I think it's this bit here, isn't it? Yeah. Ah, that was slightly higher than the rest. Okay. Great stuff. So if I then select you, come from here, and then it doesn't really matter how far I go out, but if I make it go by, let's say, a minus with a tunnel mode, minus 15, we'll come back to it and adjust it. We obviously want it to go across. So if I got it to go 20... Oh, I could just do it like that. That works. And then just slightly adjust it all. Oh, this is actually turned out better than I expected it to be. So bringing that down, so visually we get away with it. And does look a lot better. Just now got to slightly adjust this. So I don't know whether it will be a better idea to have like that elevated and then this 2 here elevated. If I then slightly raised it. Pull that to about there. Merge you in like that. And then just bring these a little bit closer. Obviously go underground to select the node just there. Oh, can I not do it like that? Alright, bring that in. and then just slightly bring that in as well. So you'll get away with that. So if we've adjusted the other one, we'll just do this one, and then we'll sort out the lane management now. So it goes like that. So if you're in the blue lane, which you would be coming from this, your only other alternative then is to make a left or go straight ahead. Thus, by sticking in the blue lane, you can either stay then, which will then become the red lane here, which will go round and go that way. Otherwise, this is the difficult bit. I don't think I want two merging there. I think I would rather have this outer lane merge into this one. Because then if you're also wanting to go straight ahead, you haven't got to be forced to go into this lane. And then if you're in the blue lane there, you can then merge over to the green lane, which will go straight ahead as well. It kind of works. You just gotta now wait for them to reposition themselves and allow the flow of traffic to come through. It's slightly annoying, but this is just what you have to do. This is just what you've got to do to make it work. This allowed us to create this beautiful roundabout, and I wanted to accomplish the same thing here, but I've just got to now, because I deleted all that and switched it all over, you got to wait for these vehicles to sort themselves out. But what I can do anyways, I can also make them all commit to what lane they stay in on this run. So there's no switching. I mean, they'll most likely then start switching here. But as time goes on, they'll pass through. Now, the only problem is, if they're coming this way and they want to be in this red lane, it would only be to then go back on themselves. Which, they wouldn't do that. But I've got to make sure the speed limits haven't changed as well. So, yes, they slightly have. So, if I do 120, 120, 120, and then reduce this whole, which is now considered a roundabout, to 80. Can I move this? Yeah. So what's now 80? So from the moment they join onto it here, this whole turning circle is now an 80. 80 that way. 80 from here. And I think we're okay. 80 on the slips. And it becomes 100 when you come away from this. Thus, so I'm hoping they're not going to be using this to kind of go round, because they think that's the quicker route because of the speed limit. So they will choose to go ahead. So this will die down. This will die down once the vehicle traffic has pushed its way through. It just takes a memento. It is going to take a memento. But while that happens then, is there anything else that looks slightly out of place, a little bit ugly? I think it's now because I upgraded some of these to a 3-lane road, like slightly bending this a little bit. We get away with it just there. That one's needs to come in a bit there. That here is not as great, but I think it's more a reflection on that bend. There we go. So we're starting to die down right now. You can't see the traffic underneath, which is kind of slightly annoying. But they should eventually... Oh, is it, I mean, that don't help. That massive pillar. They should eventually sort themselves out, and then we'll start to see the flow now happen. So it should now all be working. Pushing in the right direction. Hopefully, fingers crossed, no issues. This is still so weird. The only thing it doesn't work is obviously this additional strip here, because it should go to 4 lanes, but then you'll have 1 too many, and it should go down to 2 lanes, and then you'll have 1 too less. It is what it is. Now, we need to stop the crisscrossing happening here like this, as they're trying to turn off, so that's why we need to do similar to what we've done there. But look how much that's cleared that up. Just by switching that from one side to the other, the slip road, it's completely cleared the traffic. Amazing. That was a little bit too good if you ask me. I'm going to bring this in a bit. This slightly in a bit as well. Just because visually it looks like it's a little bit too far away. I don't know if it's just me or what. There we go. I mean, you can mess around with this too much, to be honest with you. You really could. You could really spend too much time messing about with it. But yeah, it's good enough for me. Just got to fix this, and I think we're going to be okay. I mean, it has, in reality, created such a big roundabout here, which it gives everybody greater connection. Now, a lot of the traffic is going to be funneled onto this to try and turn itself around. But it works. Now, if it works on this slip road, it will work with this slip road to here. And it will work with this slip road to here. You see where this is going? So, Neek, you're a genius. I mean, I can't take all the credit, can I? I seriously can't take any of the credit. But let me just get rid of this road right now. And let's just replicate this. So, we're going to have to push this back. Just because we need the space, and to do so we're going to bring it back to about there, and I think that's not too bad, to be honest with you. That's not too bad. So the difference is here where this merges into a 3 and we keep it to a 3 and it stays into a 3 there where it should really go into a 4. The opposite thing works here where this goes from a 3 to a 2. When we turn this road off to go underground, this should really go into a 1, but it needs to stay into a 2. That's the annoying part of it all. So we're going to bend this road to make those connect. And then we need to create our underground bit just here. So I'll do it the opposite way, then I'll flip it. Just to make things a little bit easier for us. So we'll do the same what we did last time. Go down by like -15. And then if I choose, let's say I chose here for the magic. Okay, it's not really going to work out well. Where's the connection? Okay, it's there. I might have to do some adjustments to get the connection underground. And by adjustments, what I mean is it's going to have to be a bit funky. I mean, I'm not going to say that I'm going to do it like that. That would be cool though, wouldn't it? To have such a dramatic spiral on the ground to get them in that direction. Weirdly, I would kind of like that idea. Because the other alternative is then to come down here, turn off. So that's still the quicker route. Weirdly, I like that idea. I'm going to implement that. That's quite fun. That's quite fun. Now, saying that... Right, I'm going to... Oh, no! No, no, no. Why did I press play at the same time? Why did I press play like an idiot? I'm such an idiot. Right, I've got to delete a little bit more canal now, don't I? Too close to another canal? What do you mean? Damn fool. Right, where was I? Right, this might not work on this one because we've already got the bend in. Yeah, so I was kind of half expecting to do something very similar, but it was not going to work. But anyway, I've got to now flip this around, by the way. So I'd flip it just there. That works. And then we just got to create or give the ability to kind of come off here to connect down. So using the move it tool again, we'll do a nice little swooping lane going down. So because it's a 2, goes from a 3 to a 2, I've kind of got to keep this a 2 to make this go into a 3. So where you go down too many on this one, and then you go up too many on the other. If maybe I had additional turn-offs in other areas, it would work out, but it's not going to on this, unfortunately. It's not going to. So let me just select you now to raise you up. Hopefully that works out. And one last thing I've got to do right now is just make sure that all these lane managements work. Oh, do I do one there? Did I do one here? Straight. Oh, that goes into a 3 though, doesn't it? What I should do is not have that one there. Have this one also be able to go straight ahead. There's no hold-ups there then, is there? So let me just double check we have these lines and all these junctions, which I believe we do. Yeah. And one last thing I'm going to do is just slightly move this a tad bit closer. And voila! It's been an epic, but I've learned quite a bit from this, which is quite fun. I'm going to slightly change the approach to this. So it's not so harsh on the bend to it. So it'll be a lot nicer for the transition. A lot more nicer for the transition there. I mean, you could apply the same to everywhere else, but we can keep it as it is. So I'm surprised. One, for two things. One, that I was able to get a connection to this area to alleviate some traffic, which is great. Oh no, what's happening here, boys? Just when we thought we were out of the water. What is going on? But two, it's functional. And it works. Now, will we keep getting build up here? What I could do, I could actually... Oh, hang on, I clicked on the thingy there. I could actually just say, do you know what? Stick in your lane there. Stick in your lane here. Because the next one happens there. Then I can visually see what's going on. So that might be a bit better for us. So a lot of them on the outer lane want to switch to the inner lane to go back. So some of them are going down here to go back. Now maybe I've created a shorter route. That's an issue for this, not for this. Because in reality, we shouldn't really have anybody coming down to then go back. What that shows me is somebody is finding it a lot easier. I mean, then again, when you think about it, the route to come up here and then to turn around is... Can you even turn around coming up here? So you would turn off there to go around. No, you can't. So no one really can do any turnarounds apart from this roundabout here. Or going down there and going around a block and coming back. This, for some people, seems to be the quicker route. But that's a headache for another day. It's not majorly affecting us. But I'm so surprised I've managed to get, a connection into this area. Hopefully now alleviating some of the canals. Because it could be quicker for some of them to now technically drive. And also that it's functional. So, big problem is these guys here. I think we need to also make sure that these junctions flow. Which they do. So I don't know why they're slowing down there. Why are they slowing down there? I think it might be too many vehicles at once. But this could open up the floodgates. Neek, I appreciate it, boy. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I don't know whether to laugh or cry. Now, I'm not saying it's going to alleviate, because this is a completely different issue all on its own. But it's allowing us to have additional traffic flowing in. I've managed to turn this into a big turning point. Glorious. So, has this been handy? Has this been useful? Only time will tell. Has this been a headache and a stress to figure out? Yes. But has it slightly worked out? I'll let you guys decide in the comment section down below. There is obviously something going down within this area for these guys. I'm waiting for someone to make that big turn. You just made that big turn. So where are you actually going? So this person... Ooh. So you've come from this way to go around to go that way. To come in. That's the issue. That's the issue. Aha. So they're not going back. It's people coming from this direction wanting to turn into here. They have to go around the roundabout. Now I could solve that by having a slip road coming off down. Oh no, I can make them kind of have a turn off there to kind of connect this underground, and that solves everything. But then you're playing with the 2-lane situation again. But then does it work in the opposite way? No, because that's the only entry, isn't it? Yeah. So going from that direction to go into there. Going from there. Turn off. No, we've already fixed that one. Ah, then again, that's also another great way to have. So if I had the connection here and then went underground mode to connect to there. Granted, it's not perfect, right? It's not perfect. But let's just see if it solves that issue. Because if it does, then more power to us. I feel like there's more people coming out of this area than there is going in. But that could solve that issue big styling. What's going on here? There we go. It does mean, obviously, that we put in this junction here under pressure. Now, if we do start to see a build-up, that's when we'll have to slightly adjust it and put it into 2 lanes, which wouldn't be a problem. That would be fairly easy to do. But that should hopefully stop the criss. So that's what the crisscross was. Ha. Interesting. Now, it might still happen. You might still have people doing U-turns. But can we claim this to be a success? I don't know. The jury is still out on this one. I mean, you know what's even more hilarious? I could have deleted this and just created a better version of it, but to keep this in, this is what we've had to do. It does mean more flow of traffic on that, means there's going to be more issues here and there. But I suppose it's all part of the fun, right? It's all part of the fun, but we do have to kind of figure something out here. I could do an asymmetrical road leading up, so we can at least have the 2 lines leading out to alleviate the flow. But this is headaches for another day. Guys, this has somewhat been successful. I don't know if I like it. I don't know if I agree with it. But it's somewhat been successful. And on that note, we end it here. Hope you did enjoy this. If you did, smash that like button down below. And until next time, guys, I will see you all soon. So,